Creators, we have to talk. Sometimes people ask me how I do all the things that I do. How do I have the time to do all the things that I do? I have a full-time job. I have a business on the side, filmmaking business. I love crushing the gym. I have a YouTube channel that I release videos on pretty much weekly. I'm a music producer as well. I release tracks once a month, sometimes twice a month. Play at music festivals. I have several really high value friendships that maintain weekly. I have other creative stuff that I do. Always posting on Instagram. I have a virtual assistant that helps me with my business. All these sorts of things. And look, I know that sounds like a huge ego play, but I'm not here to tell you that I'm crushing it or anything, because I don't think I'm doing as much as I could be doing. Okay, that's the truth. I don't think that I'm amazing. I'm just someone who has a clear vision of what I want out of life as an artist. And I'm here to tell you how I do that. Because a few people have asked me, and it seems like it's this magical hard thing that I'm just doing all these different things, but I don't think it's that hard, and I don't think I'm doing as much as I could be doing. And yeah, maybe it takes a particular type of person that's maybe a bit more hard on themselves to do more things. And I don't even necessarily think that you have to do more things. If you're on the side of doing less things, then more power to you. That's awesome, dude. I'm jealous. But anyway, let's get into it. Hey creators, Aimon here, and this is where I help you master your creative mindset. Because, I haven't necessarily mastered my creative mindset, but I've been through some stuff, I think I'm doing art in a bit of an optimized way. So how do I do all of these things? Okay? And as I said, I want to be clear. Not sitting here being like, oh my God, I do heaps of stuff. You suck. Okay? Just happen to do a few activities, right? And I try to fill as much of my time with stuff that may progress me further in my artistic career and in my life as possible. But yeah, how do I do all of these things? Because I think it's, relatively easy being able to do all these things. And I'm going to tell you right now, and the answer is having an extremely clear vision of your dream life. Woo-woo, this sounds woo-woo, Aimon. No woo-woo, okay? I'm not on the side of woo-woo, all right? Let's be real here. There's a lot of science behind this. Listen to Dr. Joe Dispenza, and, sometimes his stuff does sound super woo-woo. But if you look at all the evidence that he's created about all of this kind of dream life stuff and having a clear vision of the future, then it's pretty obvious that it's not woo-woo, okay? So my friend Dan and I, who I have the MetaMinds podcast with, we kind of created this concept of dream life. And God knows millions of other people have come up with this name and labeled it that as well. I'm not saying we're the founders of that specific thing or original idea or anything. It's just what we call it. It's dream life, There's a number of factors that go into having your dream life, but the very first key factor is getting really clear on what that actually looks like for you. A lot of people don't even make it past this step because it's pretty hard to do. It's pretty hard to sit down and, be honest with yourself and say, what is it that I actually want out of this life? And write down exactly what you want your day to look like, what you want to feel like on a day-to-day basis when you wake up, everything that happens in your day. Where do you live? What do your habits consist of? Who are you friends with? What is your job? How do you get paid? Everything. Get extremely clear on that. So you can feel what it feels like to almost to live that day. That's the first thing. And honestly, if you can do that really well, pretty much the rest of it comes easy, Because if you really feel what that feels like, then it becomes pretty obvious to you if you truly want that thing. And if you do truly want that thing, then the rest of it's easy, man. Because if you do truly want that life, then it becomes obvious what you have to do to get there. And part of this dream life thing that Dan and I came up with is having life systems. And so in any big business ever, or any business that is successful, small or large, they have systems in place to help them achieve things. So it's like, oh, this happened. Oh, so what do? Oh, well, I go to this system that I've written down, and these are the exact steps that I take. Man, if this wind ruined this video, I'm going to be pissed. And they go to this system that they've written down, and it's step by step, and it's exactly what they need to do, and it's all written down, and it's clear in a particular instance, right? And so, for example, what do my life systems look like? Well, I'm not going to go into extreme detail in them, but they are pretty in detail, right? And, I've got life KPIs. Got about 6 or 7 life KPIs. And that's a key performance indicator, another business thing. It means like if you're doing these things, then you're performing really well, And so, for example, one of them is go to the gym 3 to 4 times per week. And that's a clear life KPI. If I'm doing that, then I'm going to get to my dream life, right? And one of them is create and release 1 YouTube video per week, right? If I'm doing that, I'm going to achieve my dream life, okay? And I'm not going to tell you exactly what my dream life looks like because that's pretty vulnerable, I probably should be doing that because then it's like putting it out there in the world and it will come to I don't know. See, now I'm making fun of myself, and that's woo-woo, and I shouldn't be doing that, see? And so, if you come up with a clear set of life KPIs, and that tells you what you need to be doing on a weekly, monthly, yearly basis, and it's pretty simple. Again, if you know what your dream life looks like, and you know how you want to feel, then you know what you have to do to get there. And if you break that down into manageable chunks, like these KPIs, and then you just perform those KPIs, and it might seem like this real rigid thing, but you don't have to be rigid, It doesn't mean you're void of doing anything spontaneous, It's more of a guide. I'm not saying I'm perfect at it either, because I'm definitely not perfect at it. You might notice I miss an upload or 2 here or there, And that's cool because I'm living my life, dude. I'm doing other stuff, which is also fun. And I got to find that balance. And I'm going to make some videos on balance coming up, as an artist. So the second thing that's really important to achieve your dream life as an artist or creator is having a mission statement. And, I've talked about this before on the channel. I'm referencing Donald Miller, who's a fantastic author, owner of a big business. I would recommend reading all of his books, at least his last 3 or 4. Building a story brand, marketing made simple. Again, he talks about these things in the context of a business, but he's a creative at heart, and all you got to do is relate it back to being a creative. So if you have this mission statement, and there's a few key elements on how to actually create this mission statement. If you want me to make a video specifically about this, then I can do that for sure. Just let me know, So secondary to your mission statement, you have to have key characteristics and critical actions. 3 of them, and they need to be numbered in order, right? But all of this comes back to, if you're clear on what it is that you really want out of life. And, this isn't taught to us in school or in anything, We got to figure this stuff out. And this way, it's why it's so hard to do this. It's so much easier to just be like, screw it, I'll watch TV and I'll just hang out with my life. And, again, if you like doing that and that fulfills you and you're happy and you're content, that's amazing. And I'm jealous of you. It just so happens that that's not really enough for me, But it all comes back to getting really clear on what you want. And if you truly want that thing, just work backwards, build value in your life. And, especially if you're an artist, having this structure, because your mind's probably all over the place, you're creative, you're doing heaps of different things. You're a bit of a blur, It's me, that's me, right? Just happen to have this logical side, which kind of helps me with stuff as well. And so I've just logically written out and gone in reverse, worked backwards, been like, oh, well, if I want to get there, then I need to do this. And then, oh, well, I need to do it every day or as often as possible. And I've seen that, I've had these life systems in place for the last year and a half, 2 years. And, you refine them and you change them. Obviously, they change over time. Because what you want in your dream life, your vision of the future might change as well, And the progress that I've seen to move forward to that dream life, and again, that vision has changed relatively often, if you just made minor tweaks to it, is insane, guys. So if you're an artist out there and you're feeling a little lost, then this is for you. Just having that little bit of structure, even if you don't follow it super strictly. I just happen to follow it relatively strictly. And then you get people being like, dude, how do you do all these things? I'm like, I'm not doing that much, man. And the things that I am doing, I could be doing better. And that might just be me being hard on myself, but that's where I'm at. So guys, hopefully you got some value out of this. I know I went deep on this one, but it's true, If you want this dream life of yours, get clear on it and then figure out what you have to do each day to do it and then do the things. It's actually simple. But the key here is clarity. Because if you're clear on this stuff, it's all going to be easy. Because you wake up and instead of being like, what do I do today? You're like, oh, I'm doing this today. Why? Because I want to do that later in 5 years or in 10 years. So creators, hopefully you got some value out of this. My name's Aimon. This is where I help you master your creative mindset. And this is like the real core of that creative mindset mastery, If you can get this right, the rest is just easy, dude. So thanks for watching. Hope you got some value out of this, and I'll see you in the next episode.